Salute, salute, salute. When there were rumors about Papoose being romantically involved with someone else, you know what they were saying? You know what women were saying about this woman right here? Black men, do y'all remember? They were so in denial about Papoose being involved with somebody else that they started to say this was his daughter. They started to say this was his daughter. This is clearly Clarissa Shields, a boxer. She's not just in this photo dressed in this attire with him. She's dressed in this same attire, posted with photos with other men in it on this same day. This is how much they did not want it to be true. They didn't want it to be true because they did not want to see him win. Even though this is not a win. You still lost.
Okay.
This is not a win.
Still lost.
All right? But to them, this would have been a win. To them, they looking at it like this is a win because he decided to move on to someone younger instead of staying there in a relationship and continue to be abused. Oh, yeah. They wanted him to stay there, continue to get emasculated, continue to get cheated on, continue to get embarrassed instead of him moving on. And that's the dynamic that they usually practice when they with someone who's actually doing them right. They get tired of him, but they don't want him to entirely leave. They don't want him to leave entirely. No, they want him to stay there and continue to endure the disrespect until they find somebody. But it don't work like that. They usually don't find anybody. So they keep guys like him in the side pocket. And ultimately that makes him what? A simp. Instead of moving on, that makes you a simp.
Stop fooling around, you simp.
So, this is who he's been with. Right here. This is her. No makeup. No makeup. No wig, no weave. No eyelashes, none of that. This is who he was there all those times she was locked up. This is who he was taking care of. This is who he wasn't just taking care of her. He was taking care of a kid that was not his. He was, up there every week making sure she was okay. And this is what she does to him. This is her. This is her. This is usually all of them, though, without the makeup. So he could have been with any other women But he decided to stay there and make sure she's okay. Then he comes home. The first sign of disrespect is when she reunited with Fat Joe. I said that already. She reunited with Fat Joe. You know, when I said that, you know, he got jumped by Fat Joe and you know, some of his friends, people were like, "Oh, I think they got into a fight. I think they got into a fight. I don't think he got jumped." Yeah, he got jumped. It wasn't severe. You don't need to, you know, when some people, you know, when they get jumped, it's not a severe jump. You know, it's just mean that you started to fight one person and then two other people came out and you had to fight them too. Yeah, if you didn't get severely hurt, still doesn't mean you didn't get jumped. They might even, you know, tapped you a couple of times upside the head. Nothing that hurt, but it still got jumped. And that's what he actually made a song about it. The song, I believe, was Tell Fat Joe I Want a Fair One. Look it up. I believe it's probably still on YouTube. I remember that song a while ago. I remember hearing about it. And instead of, you know, coming out doing your thing, you go straight to the guy who jumped your husband when he was denying. This is the guy that denied her royalties, denied her publishing. She was screaming out, you know, she got robbed for hundreds of thousands of dollars, and you went right back to him and started making moves. Could have did that on her own, but you didn't see Fat Joe and Papoose and in pictures, you know, piecing it up. You didn't see that. You didn't hear nothing about it. But he let that slide, and then, you know, when he let that slide, you see them out together, holding hands, and then out of the blue, you see her. The more and more she's seen, the more and more she becomes scantily clad. You're starting to see her, you know, dressed as if she's at home alone in her room with her man. She got the chest showing. She got the buns out. It started getting more and more ridiculous the more she was seen. Then you started seeing work get done. And then the more work she got done to her, you know, the more and more disrespect she started to show towards him. And before you know it, she's with some battle rapper. I'm not going to show us who, you know, not going to show who he is. He's a nobody. This is what's crazy. It doesn't matter if he's a somebody, but she cheated on him with some low-life battle rapper by the name of Block Hugger. Easy the Block Hugger. Or the Street Captain, whatever his name is. Somebody who is named after hugging a block or being captain of a street. And this dude out here, getting clout off of it. They having battles. They having battles about it. Papoose name is being brought up, and he's not in a good light, and it's making it to the point where he has to endure all this disrespect. He got to look at his friends, his family. Ultimately, he got to look at his daughter. And I guess he decided enough was enough, and he went and got with somebody else. And what did she do? They went straight to the playbook. Shout out to the brothers in the Patreon. Shout out to the brothers in the Patreon. She went straight to the playbook, didn't she? I posted in the playbook her first claim, her first allegation towards him, which was abuse. That was the first one. Out of nowhere. And then the next one, what did she do? What did I say after I posted her claims of abuse by him? What did I say? What did I say, black men in the Patreon? What did I say? I said, wait, watch what she'll post next. Their playbook is that, and then they question their sexuality. Try to make him look less than who he is by putting out these claims and questioning his sexuality. And what did she do next, black men? The brothers in the Patreon are like, yeah, you wow, AC, right? We talking about what, 10, 15 hours later? So since he don't want to be there anymore to get being disrespected, since he's tired of the disrespect, since he's tired of being hurt, they don't look at him and think, that the man is probably hurt. He's probably going through it. Oh, they didn't care about any of that. Didn't care about any of that. She was out getting taken on tizzy tours. And he just wanted his family, but he couldn't get that because she didn't want that. And now that he decides, maybe it's time to move on, you can't just let him move on. Continue to do what you were doing. Continue to be with the low-life captain of the street. Let Papoose move on. And now Clarissa Shields and Remy Ma is going back and forth. Clarissa Shields is talking about she wants to box Remy Ma. And this is the reason why I say it's not a win. It's not a win at all. First of all, you're a professional. You're supposed to be a professional boxer. Even if Remy Ma decided to get in that ring, nobody is putting no money on Remy Ma. Nobody in their right mind. Nobody wouldn't, unless it's just for, circus reasons, for it to be a circus act. But this, come on. This is why nobody respects her as a boxer. When she's looking for respect, because she's looking for men respect when it comes to boxing. Why would anybody who, patronizes boxing, and it's usually men, why would they look at you and think that you're a world-class boxer when you're asking somebody who's not a trained boxer, not even an amateur, to get in the ring? You asking somebody who's a rapper to get in the ring. You're supposed to win. Anyway. He moved on, and she should just move on. Leave him alone. You don't see him out throwing any shots at her or shade at her. Just leave him alone. You're never going to find another Pap. This is the truth right here. The truth of the matter. Again, the truth of the matter. She will never find another Papoose. Never. She would never find. Most of them don't find someone like Papoose. She would never find him. She would never find a guy that would be there for her for all those years she spent in prison. She'll never find a guy who will support her if he needed to. You know what's sickening about this situation? For all those years he supported her, right? And supported her child, right? When she came home and she started, making money, right? Started being more in the light than he ever was, right? They started looking at him like he was in a reverse role. They started looking at him and started looking down at him because she was the one earning the bread. Why? So if she's earning the bread and making more than him, and even if she's paying majority of the bills, why is that a problem? He held it down all those times she was locked up. He made sure she was straight. She didn't need nothing while she was in there. He looked out for not just her child. He looked out for her entire family. Checked on them. So she comes home and she start earning more bread than him, and he's not deserving of just being able just to sit back and relax and let her take over when it comes to the finances. Why not? And this is why you're seeing more and more brothers with Becky's and Maria's. Because if Brad or Hector did that for Maria or Becky, and Maria is an entertainer and she came home, and there's plenty of instances, I could call out a few of them, where they were in jail or where they were going through some addiction and they came back on their feet, and the guy that was there looking out for them, they took care of them. This often happens with Becky and Maria. They look out for the guy that was there for them. They care about him. They don't go out cheating on him. They don't go out disrespecting him. You don't see that. It's crazy. You don't see that even when they don't have to go through those lengths to show their devotion to their women. They don't have to go to those lengths because Becky and Maria, the average Becky and Maria, you don't see them out pulling out Roscoe's and letting one off into their friends for stealing a couple of grand. They usually call the police or sue them. Anyway, salute. You know, the reason social media has really shown who they really are. And I'm so glad that social media is around to wake brothers up. Because as I always said, this is nasty work. A lot of them are saying nasty work now, right? I don't know. I see it everywhere. My other channels that go back a couple of years. Nasty. Anyway, it's nasty work. Anyway, salute.